Hey, welcome everyone to this new class, and this class is for beginners. And I don't know why you choose this class, but maybe because you feel like a beginner, maybe you know you're a beginner, or maybe you think you're not a beginner, but you actually need to do a beginner class. And there are probably thousands of other reasons why you are watching this YouTube yoga class. I came with the idea because I know still a lot of people around me, they're asking, yeah, do you have a beginner class? But they feel maybe a little bit insecure about yoga. And I can understand that because yoga became so big suddenly, and it's like a jungle, and with all this kind of different names of yoga. And also because the yoga it's so wide, there's so much to study in yoga that it's maybe a bit like, ooh, scary to go there. So I just came up with this idea to make a beginner class, but personally, I don't really believe in this word beginners. When I start my retreats and I'm in front with beautiful souls I've never met, I also say that I'm not really interested in how many years or how many times you've been practicing yoga, because it doesn't say anything. We're all beginners. I'm also a beginner. Where you left your practice yesterday. So whether it's your first time on your yoga mat, or you're here because you just love beginner classes, I personally love beginner classes. We're all beginners. And we just have to do this class with what we have right now. With our thoughts right now, with our feelings right now, with maybe pain in the shoulder or the knee right now, with a lot of expectations, with a little bit of fear. So I hope I comfort you a little bit with this, because everyone is welcome to do this beginner class, as we all are beginners. But this class is a little bit more slow, so you have more time. I'm not going to do any funky poses where you're like, ah. But we're just going to listen more to the fundament of yoga, which is the breath, and the combination with the movement and the breath, and this present moment, now. Atta. In the Sanskrit, we say atta, now. Because we have to practice in the now. And this is all you need. And you need an open mind. So this is the only thing you need for this class. So hop on your mat and let's get started. So find any comfortable seat. This is already something like, ooh, there's no such thing as a comfortable seat. Sitting onto the floor, if you're not used to it, it's very, very challenging. Even for people who've been practicing for 20 years, this is always stays, for many people, very challenging. At least for me, it's challenging. So I support myself many times with blocks, with pillows, with cushions. I have 2 blocks today. So if you have 2 blocks, you can take 2 blocks, or maybe you have 2 books. You can also take 2 books. And I like to sit with my 2 sitting bones on it, with my knees to the front and my feet to the back. But any seated posture will do. And if you're at home and you're like, oh no, this is already not working for me, then grab your chair or maybe lay down. We're not going to sit too long, but let's just sit and then close your eyes. And then just take a couple of deep breaths. you can really do the breath in a way that suits you. So maybe inhale through the nose, exhale out with a sigh, but maybe also inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose, or maybe even both in and out throughout the mouth. And then let's just check in with how do you feel? And you don't have to answer that question. This is the nice thing about it. But you're asking it actually towards yourself. And this can be quite difficult for some people in the beginning, and for some people they immediately feel things. I'm sure you feel things. So maybe you are cold. So then you say, I'm a bit cold. Or so really check in. There are probably thousands of things going on. How do you feel maybe your feet? Your skin? And in yoga we check in with different layers. So the body, the physical body, how is the physical body doing? Any pain, any aches? And then also the mental body. So is the mind really active? Is it very sweet, or is the mind a bit like an enemy at the moment, not so nice, funky and horrible thoughts maybe? And then on another level, you can also maybe check in with your emotional level. Like, do you have emotions at this moment? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you lonely? Are you angry? Are you excited? All these kind of feelings. Maybe there's nothing. Maybe there's blank, nothingness, emptiness. So this is another layer of where you can actually check in with yourself. Like, how do I feel? And then also, there's another layer, the energy level. Can you maybe feel very restless, or is it difficult for you now to sit still, or is it easy for you to sit still? Low energy, or are you really high in your energy? Okay, very good. And then slowly come out of this seat. So this is a very important thing of yoga, to really just ask yourself, how are you doing? And then really sit. So this can be your meditation for every day, just to have just a couple of minutes for yourself, asking yourself, how do you feel? And then you can check in with all these kind of layers of the bodies. So now we're going to lay down onto the mat or to the floor. Just be creative. All you need is an open mind. So then you lay down here onto the floor. And then bring your focus to the back of your body. And just spot those contact points from the back of the body. Maybe you can feel the back of your head resting onto the floor. And then maybe your shoulders. What else is touching the floor? And then we're going to bring the focus back towards the breath. And then see if you can feel the breath. And where do you feel your breath? Can you feel it in your pinky or in your thumb? Can you feel it in your big toe, or can you feel your breath in your belly, in your throat? Where can you feel your breath? And when you do this the first time, this can be quite exciting or weird or difficult. because we are not being taught to feel the breath. And this is the thing, like I actually love to do this kind of beginner classes because I really have time to actually feel again, like, oh, where's my breath? So it's always a nice practice to slow down and to feel the body. And the breath is part of the body, so we're still connecting with the body, connecting with the breath. Now we're going to add something. We're going to bring one hand onto the belly, let's say the right hand onto the belly. And then the left hand we're going to bring onto the diaphragm. The diaphragm is the big muscle who's actually going up and down when we are breathing, and to create space for our lungs and ribs and belly to breathe. You can spread the fingers a little bit wide so you have a nice surface onto your own body, and then close your eyes. Just breathe, and then see if you can bring the focus towards your hands. And then I want you to ask if you can feel your hands moving onto the rhythm of your breath. Stay very close. And is it more your left hand you're feeling, or is it more your right hand you're feeling? Or is it maybe both hands, more or less the same? Maybe you want to bring your left hand even a little bit higher, bring it onto your chest. Maybe you want to replace your right hand as well a little bit. And then again, just see if you can feel your breath there where you have your hands right now. And then when you're observing your breath, can you also feel a little pause in between the breath? Maybe a little pause between your exhale and your new inhale. Maybe you feel also that while you're doing this, you're already entering a little bit more calmness, a little bit more rest. Maybe not, maybe this is very frustrating for you. That's also fine. See if you can still just observe what's going on in your body with this exercise. And then very slowly you can replace your hands, you can place your feet onto the floor, and then place your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees come to touch. Place your hands there where you feel like this is the most nice place to place my hands. And then you can just move your knees over towards the left and towards the right, very slowly. Now, what we just did, observing the breath, is really one of the most profound practice you can do while practicing yoga. And we're going to do this the whole class. So now we are moving our knees over towards the left and to the right. See if you can observe again your body. Can you feel muscles, bones, ligaments? How do you observe your body? How do you experience your body? And then also, while we're doing this exercise, see if you can still feel where and how the breath is moving. And I'm sure you're distracted thousands times in 1 minute. That's okay, it's very healthy, very normal, nothing wrong with you. But see if you can use this practice. This is a part of yoga, that you can really smile towards those thoughts and think, oh, there I go again, another thought. Oh, there again, not liking this pose or hating what I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna smile to it. And I'm just gonna go back. Yeah. Where can I feel my breath? Okay, slowly you can stop, and then otherwise it gets really boring. You can bring your knees into the chest, hands on top of your knees, and just start to make nice rocking movements here. Massaging your lower back. Many times we have a lot of tension here in the lower back, so this is a great way to just release, and great way to do this. So when you do this every day, just a couple of minutes, focusing on the body, focusing on the breath, you're a yogi, so you're not a beginner. You can close your eyes if you want and really check in with your breath again. Maybe keeping the knees together, maybe separate the knees and really move the knees out to the side and then come back again. Maybe drawing some nice circles onto your ceiling with your knees. Maybe you can feel your breath by your throat. Maybe an airstream coming in through the nostrils, leaving the nostrils, and giving yourself some time to get used to the movement, to connect with your body, to get to know your body. Yoga is all about connection, and yoga is all about getting to know the self a little bit more on all these different levels. Okay, slowly roll to one side, left to the right, does not matter. And then slowly come into an easy cross-leg position. If you want, you can sit onto a pillow or a block or a book, or just like me, now I'm not sitting on anything. You can see my knees are coming up a little bit, that's totally fine. Maybe your knees are completely flat onto the floor or even higher than me. Just sit. Maybe you have a little bit more space. Maybe you like to support your knees a little bit. Really, there are no rules in yoga. This is the best thing. There are no rules. Anything is possible and everything is welcome. So sit up tall, see if you can find length into the spine. Maybe bring the chin a tiny little bit more back towards the chest. And then close your eyes. And while we're sitting in this cross-leg position, see if you can just imagine your spine really solid, firm, tall, strong. Maybe even like imagine a tent, and the spine is like a pole of your tent, and all the rest is like the sheet over the pole of the tent. So just allow the arms to soften. See if you can even softening the thighs, the legs, the knees. Softening the face. The spine, a very solid, firm, steady pole to hold your body in the upright position. And then from here, we're just going to move the neck in all kind of directions. So you can bring your chin all the way towards the chest. And then moving the right ear towards the right shoulder. And if that feels okay for your neck, move your head also towards the back. Slowly, slowly, take it easy. And then the left ear towards the left shoulder. And then again the chin towards the chest. So you can just make a couple of nice circling movements with the head, with the neck. And while you're doing this, focusing on this firm pole, the spine, relaxation of the rest of your body. See if you can feel your breath moving into the body. The next time when your chin is by your chest, pause. And then bringing the left ear towards the left shoulder. Slowly moving towards the back, otherwise just go immediately towards the right shoulder. And a couple of nice circling movements other direction. So we're moving the body, but we're doing it slow, we're doing it with a lot of consciousness. See if you can add the practice of how do you feel physically, mentally, relaxing the face. See if you can find your breath. So yoga is almost like multitasking. And while other people think like, oh, she's sitting so pure and nice, like a Buddha, we know better. We're really trying to focus onto ourselves, checking in with all this kind of different bodies and feelings, emotions, without reacting. This is very important, without reacting. Okay, the next time when your chin is by your chest, pause. And then lifting up the head. And then just look over your right shoulder. Then come back towards the center. Look over your left shoulder. And come back towards the center. Again, over towards the right shoulder. Back towards the center and look over towards the left shoulder. And back towards the center. And then just lift up your shoulders really towards your ears. And drop it. Lift up your shoulders all the way towards your ears and drop it. One more time, really lifting up the shoulders towards the ears and drop it. And now we're going to practice something children can do really good at one age. Then really to contract all the muscles. I remember my little nephew did it when I don't know, I can't remember, maybe he was 4, something like this, and then I said, show me how strong you are. And then he would just like squeeze his face and squeeze his fists and his arms and his legs. And it was so funny, but let's do this. So we're actually just going to squeeze everything in the body. So squeeze the face, make fists, the arms, see if you can squeeze your legs, maybe around. Everything is possible. And relax. Okay, just feel. And then let's do it again. Now even better. So really squeeze into your arms, your face. Squeezing your belly. See, squeeze into your buttocks, into your thighs. See if you can make funny movements with your feet. And relax. And then just feel the body. So maybe you can feel your body now better. This is yoga. It's about feeling the body. It's about contracting the body. It's about relaxing the body. It's about observing the body. You're doing really, really great. Let's come to hands and knees. So let's come into a cat and cow pose. So here we have, we're on hands and knees. You can have your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and your spine is more or less into a neutral position. When you really relax, maybe you start to arch. And this is cow pose. But we're not hanging into the lower back, so pull the navel a little bit in. See if you can squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit more towards each other. And pressing the hands firm into the floor. So I'm not leaning into it, I'm actually pushing myself away from the floor. So this is cow pose. Now very slowly start to round your lower back. You're going to tilt your tailbone. And so your pubic bone is actually coming closer towards your navel. And then you're going to round your upper back.
or your mid-spine, and then your upper spine, and then also your neck. And you're going to bring your chin towards the chest. And here we are in cow pose. Just do this a couple of times on your own. So we're arching and rounding the back. And if you're familiar with these poses, you can just move your body, arching and rounding the spine. Great thing to do when you wake up first thing in the morning. Just take a couple of cat and cow poses, say hello to your spine. Probably in the morning you feel a lot of stiffness in the spine. Just take it easy. And then while you're doing this cat and cow pose, can you still feel your hands, your feet, your shoulders, your face? Can you feel your breath? And where can you feel your breath? And now see if you can connect the breath with the movement. So on an inhale, we're arching. And then we look up, we're arching the spine, straight arms. And on an exhale, we're rounding. We're going to pull the navel in, chin to the chest. Inhale, arching, look up. And exhale, rounding. Do it 2 more times on your own. And you can add as much things as you wanted. Maybe you're just concentrating onto your hands, your knees. Maybe there's already something you can add. Take it easy. Most of the times when you're starting, we're just focusing on the poses. And then you can add a layer and a layer and a layer. The pose stays the same. So, okay, slowly come back towards all fours, hands and knees. And then you can bring your knees a little bit out, a little bit wider. And then slowly come with your buttocks down to the heels. And then you can rest your forehead onto the floor. You can also rest your forehead onto a book, a pillow, a blanket, if that feels more comfortable for you. Here we are in child pose. Just take a couple of deep breaths. Can you feel your breath in this pose? Is it maybe on the same places, same spot, or is it on new places? Where can you feel your breath? Just relax. Just let the body weight really entering the floor. There's nothing really to do so much in this pose. Just keeping the focus towards yourself. How do you feel? What's going on? Try to observe without any reaction. If you want, you can also bring your knees a little bit closer, maybe your arms alongside your body. It's a different version of child pose. And then let's have one more deep breath in here. And then very slowly, let's come back towards all fours, hands and knees. And then find your balance and then lifting up the right leg. Pull the navel in and then find that length again and very firm spine. Now you can stay here, you're totally fine here. Or maybe lift up your left arm as well. Now breathe. Keeping the balance. Slowly change sides. So come back. Now lifting up the left leg. And then lifting up the right arm. Finding the balance. Breathe. Feeling the strength. Yoga is also about strength and balance. And then slowly come back, other side, one more time. Right leg, left arm. And then change, left arm, right arm. And then very slowly come back to all fours, hands and knees. Now lifting up the right arm to the side, take a deep breath in. And on an exhale, bringing the right arm under the left arm. And again, inhale, right arm up. And exhale, right arm goes under the left arm. 2 more times. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale, open. And exhale. This time the right arm goes on the floor. Keep looking towards your own right hand. And then bring your face or shoulder again to the floor. Your buttocks are really high up into the sky. You can place your left hand on top of your right hand. And then you can bring maybe the weight even more into your body down to the floor, relaxing. Maybe you want to press with your left hand a little bit more into your right hand. Just breathe. See if you can feel the breath. And if you cannot do this pose for whatever reason, or you cannot breathe anymore in this pose, that means that you can come out. Remember, nothing is restricted in yoga. It's really about your own personal way to connect with your body, connect with your mind, and eventually connect with your soul. Okay, slowly, slowly come out. Come back to all fours, hands and knees. Then lifting up the left arm and bringing that left arm all the way under. Inhale, opening. And exhale. 2 more times. Inhale, left arm up. And exhale. Inhale deep, lifting up the left arm. And this time bringing that left arm over the floor. Keep on looking towards your own left hand. And then come all the way down with your shoulder and your head. Buttocks stay up. And then bringing the right hand on top of the left hand. Maybe push a little bit with your right hand, your left hand away from you. Just stay here, breathe. Adjust your pose. So you can breathe freely. And then take 1 more breath here. And very slowly we come out, and then we can come back to all fours, hands and knees. Let's go back to child pose, opening up the knees, big toes are touching. So in the beginning you're like, what, child pose, all these names, but just trust that soon you know all these names and you know immediately, child pose, and then you go without thinking into this pose. So take it easy, be very patient with yourself. We go into a so-called extended child pose. So I'm gonna go high on top of my fingers. My ears are in between my arms and my head is off the floor. And there's almost like a little competition between your arms and your hips. Your arms wants to go forward, this direction, to the front of the mat, really to the front of the mat. And then the hips wants to go backwards to the back of the mat. So just imagine this spine again, this really solid tent pole, this stick. And I just want to create length again. Hips back, arms forwards. Really feel that extension. Breathe. And slowly move both hands over towards the left. And then feel this nice stretch on the right side of your body. A couple of breaths here. Feeling that nice stretch. Yoga is also about feeling stretches in the body. Opening, sensations. So we're actually just moving the body to feel, to experience all this kind of different sensations we have in our body. Without judging them, we're just looking at them. Okay, I'm already here to the right, so walk your hands all the way to the right and feel a stretch on the left side of the body. Couple of breaths here. And then very slowly come back. And then we move back into all fours, hands and knees. Let's do some cat and cow poses. You still know what they are. Inhale, arching the spine, very good. And exhale, rounding the spine. Super, you are the best. So now we're moving into a downward facing dog. And downward facing dog is maybe the most famous pose in yoga. It's one of the most difficult poses as well. So really bear with yourself, take it easy. Okay, spread your fingers wide. And now tucking your toes. And now slowly move the weight into the hips, backwards. It looks different with everyone, but the weight now is in my toes. I can feel even a nice toe stretch here. And I'm pulling my shoulder blades down onto my back. So I'm not bringing my shoulders towards my ears, but I'm pulling them away from my ears. I'm really pulling them onto my back. And see if I can even, just make connection with the ribs and the belly and the stomach. So it's a bit like I want to squeeze what we're practicing. I want to squeeze a firmness around your belly, your navel, and your back. But your face is still very relaxed. Okay, pull the navel in and slowly, slowly see if you can lift up your sitting bones all the way up into the air. Now keep your knees really bent. Try to straighten the arms first. And then see if you can maybe bring your upper body a little bit more closer towards your thighs, towards your legs. This is a really nice way to start practicing downward facing dog. Maybe you start to shake already in your arms, in your legs. This is great work because then your body really learns something else. So you can always bring the knees back towards the floor and come back into child pose. And then try again, tucking the toes, moving the weight backwards. And then slowly lifting up the sitting bones really, really high. And then pressing your upper body close towards your thighs, really finding length into the arms. The knees are still bent, really bent, finding that length. So in the beginning, it's very, very difficult to straighten the legs. So if you want to straighten your legs, if you bring your knees now to the floor and have a look, then many times this is happening. I'm going to straighten my legs, but then I'm going to bring my shoulders to the front again. And I'm going to round so either I'm going to be all the way here, or I'm going to round my back. This is not a downward facing dog. We really want to find length, 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 length. So if you want to try to straighten the legs, it's okay, but don't bring your shoulders any forward. It's really about pressing your thighs straight back. And then you maybe notice that, the back of your legs are really screaming, screaming, screaming. So don't push it, just feel it. And then maybe bringing the knees back towards the floor and have a nice rest into child pose. Maybe with your arms alongside your body, because this gives really nice relaxation into your arms. So let's try this again. We come back to all fours, hands and knees, strong arms. Now tucking the toes. Slowly we move the weight back. The shoulders move away from the wrist. This is really important in downward facing dog, to not keep the shoulders above the wrist, but to really back away from the wrist. Now keep the shoulders away from your wrist while you're lifting up, lifting up. Push your hands into the floor. Relax your head. Maybe shake a couple of times. Yes, no. So your knees are really, really bent. Now pull the navel in, ribs in as well. So it's a really strong movement. Now without moving the shoulders forward, without rounding the spine, see if you can activate your legs a little bit and just bring them maybe 1 millimeter more in a straight position. So don't just try to straighten the legs. Really just feel that it's super, super, super difficult. Keep the arms straight. Welcome in downward facing dog. Very good. You're doing really, really, really good. Okay, bend your knees, walk all the way forward. And then come into a standing forward fold. You can hold the opposite elbow if you want. What is really nice is to bend your knees and rest your elbows on top of the thighs or the knees. Shake maybe yes, no here. And then slowly roll yourself up 1 vertebrae at a time. And then we're here into a standing posture, into mountain pose. Close your eyes, arms alongside your body, and just feel your body. This is really the most profound yoga you can do. So, what is a beginner? I think we're actually doing a very, very advanced practice here. We're not just doing poses. We are connecting everything. The body, the mind, the soul, the emotions, the energy. This is really super advanced yoga. But in the same time, it's the base, it's the fundament of yoga. And because we are going slow, you have time to really, really feel the body. That can be challenging, that can be difficult because the mind thinks, oh, I don't want to stay here still, I want to do something. Observe, be patient, trust. Okay, opening up the eyes. Now come really high on top of your toes, finding the balance. And then whenever you feel like, you go down again and try again. So just a couple of times balancing. Balance is a very important thing of yoga. It's playing with the body. It's daring actually to fall out and just try again. And it's very easy to make a balanced pose more difficult by closing the eyes. So when this is really going easy, then close your eyes and just try again. And give yourself a couple of smiles here. A balance, for me personal in yoga, is always that moment to like, okay, drop all these kind of expectations that I have to become a better person or a better yogi. It's just about fun. It's about being in the moment, fun, feeling the body playing, feeling the balance. So, very nice. Okay, now take a deep breath in, arms up. And exhale, palms together into a Namaste prayer pose in front of our heart. Inhale, arms up, really finding length in the body. And exhale, ground yourself. A couple of times. Inhale. Exhale, close your eyes and really feel your energy. Feel your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it all to the center of your being. A couple of times on your own. Really feel the breath. Feel your 2 feet onto the floor. Feel the movement of your arms. Feel the centering. Feel your energy. Observe.
If you want, on an inhale, you can also come to your tippy toes. And then when you go down, slowly bringing your heels back down again. If this is bringing you out of balance or out of focus, then don't do it. I will always go for the pose that gives me and brings me focus. Yoga is to learn to focus. And yoga comes from the word yuk, which means to connect, to unite. And now we're uniting the left and the right hand, we're uniting the breath, the movement, and make it your last. Keep your hands in front of your heart in Namaste prayer pose. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. And then come to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath in, arms overhead. And on an exhale, we're going to all the way in a forward fold. You can bend your knees, just take it easy, slowly come forward. You're doing very good. Inhale, come up halfway. And on an exhale, we're going to step the right leg back, only the right leg. And then we're bringing the right knee down. And this is a lunge position. This is what you can really feel in your hips, so take it easy. Maybe place a blanket or a towel under your right knee when you have maybe sensitive knees. So you see, I'm always adjusting my poses. And every day I need to check in again. What do I need? What do my knees need? If you want, bring your arms overhead and then see if you can sink a little bit more into your hips. And bringing your arms back down to the floor and then step back into a downward facing dog. You can always bring your knees back down to the floor and come into child pose. But see if we can stay here for 5 deep breaths in downward facing dog. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we bend the knees, look between your hands, slowly come all the way forward in between your hands. Inhale halfway. Exhale, nose towards the knees. And then come all the way up into a standing posture again. Don't worry if this goes too fast or whatever. It really needs time. Be patient with yourself. Take a deep breath in, arms up. Exhale, we come forward and down. Bending the knees, inhale halfway, and then exhale, left foot back, all the way back, and bringing your left knee down. Support yourself, and then bring your arms up into this low lunge position. Really reach your arms up and sink into the hips. You can place your left foot flat onto the earth or bend it. What is more? Yeah, what suits you more today? Okay, and then we're going back into downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths here. 1, 2. You can always bring your knees to the floor and come into child pose. 3, 4, 5. And then we're bringing the knees towards the floor and come into a pose of a child's. So just relax the face, the shoulders. And very slowly come out. Just bring your buttocks to one side of your legs and then swing your legs towards the front. And then we move into a forward fold. Maybe it's nice if you sit onto something like a book or a block or a blanket to just lift your hips a little bit higher. And you can also bend your knees if that feels better for you. To be able to straighten the legs and straightening the spine, so have that tent stock, the pole really straight, it's quite difficult. But if you bend your knees, it's maybe easier for you to straighten the spine. Same thing goes for lifting up your hips. Just lifting up the hips is a little bit easier, or when your hips are a little bit lifted, it's easier to find length into the spine. Okay, then take a deep breath in, really find length. Maybe you want to bring your arms up as well to really just find more length, and then come forward. And then you'll probably meet your hamstrings, the back of your legs. And when you think, oh, this is too much, there's the place where you're going to bring your hands down. Then find even more length on an inhale, and on an exhale, release and come forward a little bit. So in the beginning, we're trying not to round, but then at the one point, you can maybe just feel, okay, now I'm rounding. When you're rounding, you don't want to put any force anymore. Inhale, finding length. Every inhale, you're finding length again. Every exhale, maybe you come a little bit more down without any effort. When you feel like you're rounding too much, maybe just come out again and feel that length again. Training also the muscles of your back. And then slowly come out. Now bending the legs, placing the feet hip distance apart. And your hands are behind you. Take a deep breath in and now lift up your hips to really opening up the front of the body. And slowly come back. And then we're going to lay down back onto the back, bringing the knees into the chest. Just a couple of circles moving left and right. Maybe you keep again the knees together or separate them. Just making any kind of movement with your left and your right knee. And bringing your arms alongside your body and see if you can straighten both legs. If this is really challenging, then just place one leg onto the floor and keep one leg up. And then start to move your ankle. So if you have two legs up, you can move both ankles. Otherwise, just move one ankle. And when you have one leg up, you're going to change. So yoga, for me, is really about adjusting. To just finding what is working for my body today. And that does not say anything about how long we have been practicing, because it's every day different. Maybe we have an accident or a little injury, and then it's different. So place your feet back onto the floor. Place your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees come to touch. Remember, we were here in the beginning of a class. See if you can bring one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your diaphragm, and just be here. Be here with yourself, feeling the body, feeling the breath. And then start to move your knees again over towards the left. And then back towards the center. Start moving them over towards the right. And back towards the center. And then again towards the left. Now stay here. You can stay here, maybe opening up the arms for a nice little stretch. Or if you want, you can place your left foot on top of the right knee or thigh. If that feels good. If not, then don't do it. Slowly come back towards the center. Both knees now going towards the right. You can stay here or place your right ankle on top of the left thigh or left knee.
And then relax. Yoga is also about relaxing. And slowly come back. Okay, place your feet as wide as the hips, and then see if you can touch with your fingers the back of the heels. Really press with your feet firm into the floor, and then on an inhale, we're going to lift up the hips off the floor, and then we're going to bring them back down again towards the floor. So do this a couple of times. You can lift up onto an inhale, maybe stay here or immediately go back, that's up to you. But when you're down, you're again thinking, okay, when it's my inhale, then I'm moving up. Maybe stay here for a breath or one or two. You can also just move on the rhythm of your breath. So inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. So see if you can feel that. What is it what you need? Is it more of a slow movement or more like a dynamic movement? And know that you can always choose. Okay, the next time when your hip is up, we're actually going to stay up this time. So see if you can really lift up, lift up, lift up, lift up. Arms stay flat onto the earth, really pressing the arms down to the earth. Lift up even a little bit higher, lift up higher, and slowly come back down. And then bringing the knees into the chest and give yourself a nice hug. Relax. Remember the first thing we did also with the squeezing? We're going to do it again. So take a deep breath in. Now on an exhale, you're going to squeeze the whole body, trying to stick the nose in between the knees and really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then slowly release. Come back. Okay, again, inhale deep. On an exhale, squeeze the body. Pull the navel in, squeeze your face, your arms. And relax. And then come lay down onto the floor. Straighten both legs out, straightening the arms. So here we are in Shavasana. And we're also going to do the squeezing and relaxation, because this is also a very important part of yoga, that we learn when to contract the body and when to release the body. So when you lay down here onto your floor, just make fists, squeeze into your arms, squeeze into the legs, the feet, the heels, the thighs, the belly, the buttocks, the chest, the shoulders, your face. Squeeze and relax. One last time. Really squeeze into the body. Squeeze your calf muscles, pushing your heels away, your toes, your thighs, your buttocks, your legs, your belly, your arms. Squeeze into your face. Squeeze and let go. Feel the body. Feel the sensations of the body. Stay very close by your body, your breath. And then just at one point, maybe the mind will wander. Well, let the mind wander. Relax. Relax. Nothing to do right now.
nowhere to go. You can just be here. And that's enough. Being here. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you, and the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet it. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are, so fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant, just for now. And very slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving the ankles, the feet, the wrists, the hands. And make any movement your body is asking for to slowly wake yourself up, filling yourself with new energy, new air. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe give yourself a nice long stretch. And then bringing the knees into the chest. And then roll onto your left or right side. And slowly come back up towards a seat, any seat. What suits your body is totally fine, it's perfect. And then bring both hands into Namaste prayer pose. And this is where we thank ourselves. So you can bow towards yourself. You can thank yourself for your time, for your effort, for your energy to do this practice, for this courage also, not to forget. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this class. Just watch back this video as much as you want to really calm down, to slow down, and to remind ourselves that we're all beginners. I hope you really enjoy this practice. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.